Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna continue coding for fun our Android app, and I will be testing the code, especially the notes code. Okay, and all that has to do with that. In the previous videos we improved the way notes work by using less disk resources. So in this video we're gonna test a bit the code we wrote last time. We will try to read, try to understand, and then try to test it. Okay? Great. So in the onCreate notes, so you can see right here, let's close everything else. Just focusing notes right now. Okay. So there is some bug already. I know there is a bug. The bug that I detected is that sometimes when I read the notes, I see duplicated notes. Why that is? So I add a couple of notes and then I see them duplicated. Why? Well, let's find out. Let's see, where do I add notes? Where do I add the notes? I think it has maybe to do with the ID. I'm not sure, but let's see. A button to add a note. Where are you? Add or update note. So here, when we click on new note, you can see right here, is this the only usage? If it's the only usage, I guess we can do this, right? I hope, right? So we add or update note. We are adding the note. Okay. When we add the note and we click on save button, we see if it's empty or not. This code is for updating the note. Let's see if there's some problem with that. So it gets the note, then changes the note content, gets the note ID, and saves the note with the new content, then ID in the notes folder. I don't see it as a problem unless this is not getting the right ID, which it should be getting right. Not quite. Maybe not. If this discrepancy between all nodes and nodes index, then this won't be working as expected. So instead, what would be a better way of preventing this? That's the question. Maybe the node should have its ID. Maybe that would be a good way of fixing this. And for doing that, node ID will just be, we don't need this. It would be edited node.id. Of course, it doesn't have an ID, but we can create it. And this could be the problem with this is that probably it's not compatible with previous versions of the app. but the node shouldn't change its ID, right? So it should be ball ID. This is a short. Okay. So that would be a way of doing this. Of course, we have to modify all other parts of the app to make this work. Okay. Let's see. How can we fix this? How can we fix this? Okay, we will try to compile and see, or we have some errors here. And it says empty node. And the ID would be -1, the ID of an empty node. And now to move, node content, new node. Let's also use this opportunity to change this to node to move. Probably. Will that work? I don't know. We'll have to test all that. Edited node ID. ID to string, yeah. And here, when we add a new ID, when we add a new node, we should add it with its ID. ID. Migrate to nodes. Migrate to nodes, we have to add an ID. Get available ID. That could be a way, but I'm thinking of another solution. That the ID may be like the current date. Maybe not, but okay, let's keep it this way. Let's see if it compiles. Okay. Okay, so let's run it. Have a couple of things to test. in Node regarding to Node. So yeah, you know, the ID is generated in some way, but that may not be very robust. How can we improve on that? We have to empty nodes. Okay. It means that we have an index, but we don't have a node. And it's not being able to read the node. In this case, J is the name, let's say. But okay, let's see how can we fix this. Let's add a new node. I'm clicking on the add button, but nothing is happening. The emulator is not working as expected. Let's rerun the app. Maybe it's an issue with the emulator. I don't know. Yeah, now it works. Okay. So we add a node. Here is a red node. Let's run again, see if it stays there. Yeah, it stays there, so that's fine. Now here in init data, maybe also here, there's something. So if we have nodes, it means that we are migrating from a previous version, right? Okay, so here, what we have to do instead of this is just node that ID to string. Add node that ID. Okay, I think that's the way we do this. But of course here, if all nodes is populated, the ID will not be there, right? Because it won't even read the node. So we should create something like old nodes, and here should be old node, which didn't have an ID. But maybe, I don't know if this will work. What else can we do here? Well, I think data Kotlin data class with multiple ways of instantiated. Okay, let's see. This would be like the best we can do, I guess. This is not what I'm doing here. I shouldn't do this. What should I do here? I'm just. Okay. 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 Hmm. How to make it compatible if I have stored serialized nodes with the original node is without an ID. Let's see. What if the object is a list of lists of nodes? So the old way of doing it would have to be like reading it and have a new node. Like, should I say node? Should I say text? Should I change that? I don't know. But probably I guess I have to do something different. I have to do something different. I have to leave it that as it is, and I have to create a new thing called note. I don't know how to call it. Maybe task or text. Node item. Node item. And this one can have an ID. Okay. Okay, great. Now, all nodes is a thing of node item, and all nodes is node. So all nodes is this, and this is node item, and old nodes. Or maybe I don't need to have all nodes. I don't need it to be read. I just have to read into old nodes. Old nodes. Like that. Okay. Then this has to be again here it has to be old nodes, and here we have to also be old nodes. And then if total nodes is greater than 0, if total nodes is greater than 0, we have to migrate to index based and to node item. Okay, so here to do that, we have to do the following. We create a list. This first of all has to be old nodes. Okay, then here has to be old nodes. Okay. Old nodes. For a node in list, we write a node. The node is like that, but we have to do something else. Node is node item, and this will be node background, node content ID, get available ID. Okay, I think and these ones should be old node, so this here has to be old node. Okay, here I write the new node to folder node. Then I add to the node's index the node ID. Okay. The node index should not be read here, because if total node is greater than that, then the node index should be empty. And the node index should be read here instead. However, the node index should already be initialized, should not be late init. Should be like the other nodes. Should be list num node pages, and then we initialize it as mutable list of short. Build it. I think that's how it should be, right? Okay, so now we have the nodes index right there. We use it. We are just writing it to an empty thing, an empty one. Then we are writing the nodes index back to disk, which is how it should be done, and all that. Now if this is threaded as it is, will that cause any problem? I hope not, but okay. Okay, great. Now, if total nodes is 0 or is non-existent, there's no node. We read nodes index. We initialize that. We we read and we won't pass this because we're reading it. So here we have to pass, we can pass notes index. Okay, that's great. Then we will load and init all the nodes. We initialize an empty node, which is like this, and this is not a node, it should be a node item. Okay, and by the way, this could be done here. Okay, and all nodes is a thing of node items, so it has to be changed as well. And then once we've done this, we read a couple of more things and that's it. Okay, let's continue. Node adapter set data, all nodes. So the data is list of node item here, and this data, I guess, is also node item. Okay, that's that enough. Let's continue. Init rest, it says node pages, node item there. Then let's continue. Increment active node pages, node item. Continue. Get available ID, new node item. And write new node, oops. Sorry. Move to another page, node item, and write new node. This is node item. What else? Get available ID, new node item. And here we have a problem, as you can see, new node ID and that, so this has to be changed, of course. Has to be changed too. This may be a bug, debug as well, new node ID. Okay. Then it says no error found. Let's see if we can run this. Okay. Okay. Oh, what an interesting bug. Maybe because it's an empty node? I don't know. So why is this happening? Let's see. When I click on a node, what happens? Let's see. Okay. When I click on an item, which is this, right, on item click listener, we get the node. If the background, what node are we getting exactly? We're getting just one node, but I think that node is the same object. Why is that? I don't know, but that same object exists in more than one place of the list. And that's why. Now, this is because of the empty nodes that were there. But let's see if we can if I delete, will be all of them deleted? I deleted one. Let's see if I run this again, Steve. No. Okay, kind of strange. But let's just delete all the nodes. And let's run it again to see if there's empty nodes. There's no new empty nodes, so it's green. In the first thing, there is an empty node. Let's say node 1 add in green, rerun node 1. Let's edit this to node 2. Node 1 is green, node 2 is red. Let's see if that's still the case. Node 1 green, node 2 red. Let's add another one. Okay. Let's move this down, move down, run again. Okay, move up, go red, green, run again. Well, apparently it's working. Of course, a lot more testing can be done and should be done. But I think it's good. So far, so good. Apparently it's working. Now the migration has to be tested with a version, with a device that has the old version installed. Let me just get my phone, which doesn't have the old version installed, but it has like more things. Okay. Let's see how it goes. You see, after a couple of days of using it, it started to show some bugs. So I'm worried about that. And there's a bug, something is going on, and says that it keeps stopping. Something is crashing around there. Let's see, try to fix that. It says class cast exception. Node cannot be casted to node item. Okay. Files all node as node item. All nodes as node item. Empty node. Oh. What? Empty node. What's going on here? It says that it cannot be casted. All nodes I add. And it will read a file. In this case, J. File name is folder plus J. Here J, it has to be the ID. Yeah, kind of. Okay, what's going on here? It says it cannot be cast as node item. Why? Launcher node Note cannot be cast as note item. Oh, I see. I see what's going on. Okay. Okay. This is having a previous version. So I have to migrate the type. So ball disk note is that. So here, if disk note is note item, else, right? If this note is note item, we will add disk note. Otherwise, what we have to do is all nodes at I that add how should we do this? We have to add something else. Well, migrated or node item would have to be node item node disk note, this node bg disk note that old node dot bg old node dot content, and here we have to add the ID, and the ID has to be J, right? Then what we have to do is we have to, I don't know if we have to delete the previous one, like files, delete file, folders, as folder nodes, file name is J, and this has to, yes, this to string. We delete the file, and when we delete the file, do we have a thread? We don't. Then the node has to be added, the node item, like that. This is redundant, I guess. I think I don't need this one. I think disk note is enough. Okay. We delete the previous file, or can I write a new file? I don't know, but have to do something like files that write object, and this would be a node item. Then we have to have a file name which is J to string, and then what else? Folder note, I guess. Will it work now? No, it still doesn't work. Let's see what's going on. Okay, where are you? Cannot be cast to node item. This node, empty node. Problem is here. And empty node have to do something like bar or try, catch. Can I do that? I don't even know if I'm doing something that has any explanation or any sense, but here should be files that are empty note item note. Okay, so here we'll try to do empty note item, otherwise we'll do folder notes plus J empty note. Will that be the thing? I don't know. Will that be the fix? Yes, it works, with the caveat that I'm reading a couple of empty notes here. Probably some bug from the previous thing. So we have a bit improved, let's say, all this. Of course, a lot more testing has to be done, but at least it's not crashing anymore. And a F exception. Okay. That's the first time. Let's run it again now that it should have migrated to the new thing. Yeah, I think it's working, I think. So let me think. Okay, so that's how it works. Apparently it works fine. Let's run here on the emulator so you can see. Run again. Well, apparently it kind of works fine. Yes. So we have improved the launcher a bit more. This will be version 2.48, I think, in the beta version. So try it out. I will just upload it now after I finish this video. And thank you for watching, and I see you on the next one.